It's Missing Real with Mike DeRigo. It's gonna be awesome, here we go. Those are not my lyrics.
Don't worry about it, prick.
Actually, it's Sting.
Nah, prick sounds better.
I will kill you.
All right, welcome back. Once again, it's Missing Reel, and we're doing a really kick-ass action movie from 1993. This is Demolition Man, and this movie is so chock full of action. I mean, like every 5 minutes, you'll see Sylvester Stallone blow someone. Blow them away. All right, so anyway, this movie is really fun, and it's a little bit short on logic, but aren't they all? And I love it, and so does my guest today. Here we have once more my buddy from work and from the world of movie geekdom in general, Quan Ngo. Welcome back, man.
Hi, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me again on your show. I love being here.
I love having you here, man. It's just, we always have to plan this shit out and get the right movie and the right, strategy to attack it with.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not really going to beat this one up too badly, right? Because I think you like this one, don't you?
I love this movie. This movie is a staple of my childhood and what it means to be a man.
You got enough testosterone in here. But let me ask you the really important question before we even get into it. Are you an Arnie or a Sly guy?
Oh, Arnie all the way.
Pretty much, yeah. I would say so as well. I mean, I love Stallone.
Even with his recent comments, but, it's still what he still killed a predator and, he was the Terminator. I still got to give it to Arnie.
Oh, yeah, Arnie's the best. Even if he only wins by a short measure because of his one-liners, they just flow a bit better than Stallone's. I don't think Stallone ever comes up with a really priceless killer one-liner. He just doesn't have the knack for it, I think.
Oh, he had a bunch in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Nothing that he says can ever compare to Arnie, not even, "You're going to regret this for the rest of your life. Both seconds of it."
That was a good one, yeah.
That's the best one he's got, I think. And even that doesn't even, top, "I'll be back." Nothing. A stick around. Yeah, nothing. He had to split. I mean, everything. Everything Arnold says. I don't know if he writes them himself or he's got a gang of, writer's room like, Saturday Night Live or whatever, but he's just got that shit. Okay, so here's Demolition Man. We don't need much of a background, but, what Stallone movies have you enjoyed in your life? What do you really think of his finest moments?
Let's see. Finest moments was Stallone. Cobra.
Of course, man.
Cobra. Cobra was the shit back in the day as a kid, too, watching that. What else? Yeah, there are a lot of these 90s action movies. I mean, granted, Cobra, I think, was, in the 80s, but still,
Yes, it was.
These are the heroes that I grew up with, man. And what I liked about Demolition Man as well is that, pretty much the society they described is what I feel like the world is trying to become now.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always trying to look ahead and see what the future is going to be like. And I don't really think
you mean a bunch of 40-year-old virgins just sitting in their underwear singing Howdy Doody? Yeah.
Old commercial jingles are now top 40 radio. That's a world I do not want to live in. But
oh, come on. You can't curse. They were literally saying, you've been fined 1 credit for for the morality thing. All because you started cursing.
The verbal morality statute, which, by the way, I'm sure we're going to violate that as soon as possible, aren't we?
Oh, fuck yes, we are. And I already
fucking hell, yes. I'll have a buzzer ready to go. I'm going to I'll stick it in there.
All right.
I'll be using our buzzer, repeatedly throughout this recording, but, it'll...
Nice, we get some beeps? All right, I'm with that.
The movie itself, though, you realize that this movie was not necessarily inspired by, but it was named after a police song, Demolition Man.
I had no idea.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you were a big police fan like me, but Demolition Man is one of a lot of movies named after police songs, whether they want to be or not. We have Murder by Numbers, which also stars Sandra Bullock. We have Roxanne, Steve Martin, and a good old Omega Man with Charlton Heston, but I never saw that. So I think Demolition Man is the way to go all the way. And Sting remade the police song for the soundtrack, and it kind of sucks. It's not that good, but, what are you going to do? It's there.
I mean, I still enjoyed the hell out of the movie. You know what? I just want to say that again. I really did love Wesley Snipes as the villain for this movie. I think he did an amazing job.
A way bit over the top there, kind of but that's so how it is.
Though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but you see, after I watched Demolition Man, the very next day, I put on one of the Blade movies where he's not really corny at all, but cool.
Blade 2 is the only one that matters.
All right, well, I like them all. I find something to enjoy in all of them. But I mean, he's versatile enough. I like Wesley Snipes. I can tell you my favorite Sly and Snipes movies. Well, I don't know, Passenger 57, I guess, is his biggest starring vehicle. Die Hard on a Plane or some shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh man, that's another movie I saw when I was a kid. Maybe I always just think I could definitely save a plane. I could totally do that. I'm trying to think what the terrorists in that one. I think they were Eastern European, right? Was that during the hot time when the Russians were all the bad guys?
Yeah, they still throw them in there once in a while. It's either Russia or I don't know, some Slovakian or whatever, Norwegian, anything European, I guess. Yeah.
I just realized, how can we forget Sylvester Stallone's most recent role as King Shark?
Yeah, the Suicide Squad, right?
Yep.
Or the Suicide Squad revamped, but yeah, that was good. He doesn't say a whole lot, but it's way better than I am Groot. Yeah, it's a little better than that.
Yeah, for Guardians.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like Stallone's Cliffhanger. It was a pretty kick-ass movie. I like that as far as action flicks go. Mm-hmm. And I got to go way back.
The Specialist.
The Specialist is excellent too. James Woods.
Yeah, James Woods is the villain with the C4 pen. Oh, that was some good stuff.
He's the best, man. But I mean, he helped that movie a whole lot. But my favorite hardcore back from the golden days Stallone shit is still Nighthawks with Rutger Hauer, Billy D. Williams. That was the shit. That was like his gruffiest New York movie. If you've never seen that
one I haven't seen.
Yeah, you got to see that shit. But I can't ever go near Roosevelt Island without thinking of Nighthawks.
What about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
Gosh, man, how did I miss that? Or Oscar, or anything, or Rhinestone. Rhinestone. All right, now we're turning away from what Stallone stands for, which is just like muscles, bullets, and explosions, and running in slow motion from something that's blowing up.
I remember only screaming with half his jaw able to move because I think he had a stroke when he was a kid. It
was something about the forceps pulling him out of the womb. I was reading like that he had like some muscle damage. So yeah, but I thought it was his trademark.
Yeah,
and it works,
Or that he used to do porn back in the day.
And he had a lot of orgasms, and his face kind of got stuck that way.
No, I think he did like one porno movie that he's trying to make the world forget about.
Oh, all right. It's not going to take away anything from the fact that his mouth is halfway crooked there.
No.
So he can't really, service anybody properly. He can only get you like on the left side.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of blowing people away. All right, let's just get to the damn movie. Right? This is like let's respect these people. These like Hollywood icons that we love. And if they didn't make these cool movies, they'd be like nothing to watch.
These manly men. Yes. All right, back to the movie.
All right, Demolition Man. All right, we got Stallone. We got Snipes. We're gonna see Sandra Bullock in there later on, and a little bit of Rob Schneider just being a dick, but doing his rich man thing and annoying people. But he's okay. He's in there. He's not even credited, but he's there. It's him.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, you see it's him.
But all right, we know the story about this, and if we haven't explained it or you haven't watched this movie, folks, it's just the future. Arnold, see, I screwed up already. Stallone is John Spartan, because he's got to have these cool names in every movie.
Oh, I mean, come on, action icon hero, of course.
Yeah, John Spartan. And Wesley Snipes is the very, very over-the-top Simon Phoenix.
Yep.
So he's just a really bad guy who kills people and does all kinds of mean shit. And Stallone has been trying to catch him for years. And he's like this rogue cop as usual. And in the beginning of the movie, he's like finally trying to catch him in this building. And he gets kind of framed for the death of all the hostages. Mm-hmm. And he gets put away. He gets put away in a big block of ice in this cryo prison. So
in the 90s, it was a lot cheaper to just freeze people than to actually put them in jail and rehabilitate them.
Well, they rehabilitate you with some sort of a computer program, like suggesting things to you while you sleep.
Exactly.
While you're in your little cozy frozen coma, you're like getting taught all kinds of manners or skills or things that'll be helpful in the projected future. Well, the movie was from 1993, and they just want to make it a tiny bit futuristic, so it takes place in 1996, LA, because that's where all the gangs and fighting and crime are always, seeming to happen in LA. He does his typical dropping out of a plane and screaming out, Phoenix! He's yell at.
By the way, horrible way to break into that facility, by the way. Really loud helicopter, bullets flying at it, and you know what? Instead of just sneaking in, he jumps out with a bungee cord and just screams on the way down. Yeah, right. Great way to break into that place.
And he announces exactly who he's coming for.
Exactly. But other than that, that whole gang can take over, like 4 city blocks and an entire building and a bunch of scrapyards, no problem. But all of a sudden, one cop comes in and they all miss their bullets. But hey, you know what? It's all good.
He never gets shot. That's part of his in his contract, I think. He just can't get shot.
Yeah, right.
Or at least not till the very end when he's just about to take out the big bad guy. But during the first confrontation with Snipes and Stallone, did you notice that they're having a fight and Snipes, he makes this offhand remark, he goes like, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached. And Stallone is like, I'll keep that in mind. And that's a foreshadow, something that happens at the end. It's directly related to that. I know how to read into film. I'm not like a big scholar of the arts, but I know that means something later on after I watch the whole movie. Like, it calls right back to that.
Now I see what he was getting at.
You know what he was getting at. All right. Well, we don't want to spoil it for all you listeners or watchers who didn't watch this, but yeah, we'll tell you what happens later to Wesley Snipes.
It's from 1993. Go see this movie.
Yeah, come on. What are you waiting for? Before they do a remake of it or some shit. You don't want that. And they could probably both be in it again if they wanted to.
Oh, yeah, they could definitely show up in it with no problem.
Yeah, and play the same damn characters all over again. All of them. Oh, almost everyone. All right, after Stallone gets through the whole big first action sequence, he does run from an explosion in slow-mo. I just want to mention that because I'm trying to
keep guy on his shoulders.
I'm just trying to keep count. Oh, yeah, he's carrying Wesley Snipes. I forgot how he probably just punches him the right way, in between jokes. They're both trading really bad one-liners, but I think Snipes is just a bit better. And he wears, more colorful clothing.
Oh, it was the 90s. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
see him on LSD.
Sylvester Stallone runs into that room and doesn't smell the gasoline at all.
Oh, exactly, right. How come you don't notice that? And it's he has a blowtorch in his hand. Is that another clue you're missing right there?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Well, he takes a while. But then he doesn't have to worry about that. After all those explosions, he's going to keep pretty cool for a while. He goes to the cryo prison. I don't know if that's really punishment, because you just freeze in there and nobody, tries to gang rape you in the shower. You don't have to worry about
fun of going to prison.
I mean, or you'll be so numb from the cryogenics, you wouldn't even feel it. But he gets frozen in this big block with his face in that expression, which it gets stuck that way for 30 years. That's pretty horrible for any people just checking in on the ice cubes. But I think his face changes several times in different shots. It's a little continuity error there, but you got to blame that on the director or the DP. But the director, who's directed almost nothing else I've ever seen, by the way, Marco Brambilla, directed our favorite stuff, Excess Baggage and Dinotopia.
Yeah, I've never seen either of that.
Of course. And a Kanye video. Woo-hoo. All right.
Yep, none of those then.
Yeah, it's all right. No Academy Award for this guy. It's time goes by, 30 some odd years, and then we see the future. It's it's really been pussified to the extreme in the year 2032 now.
Mm-hmm.
And society is all cleaned up and everyone's polite and there's no crime. No one's fired a weapon or, murdered anyone all this time. I don't know what exactly brought that about.
It was supposed to be some kind of weird earthquake that destroyed the West Coast, and it combined all three California cities into one.
That is true. I'm really glad you remembered that because I didn't. But yeah. I guess that's where all the criminals are, in LA. So once that earthquake killed all the criminals, New York, most of us are nice right over here, yeah, I guess so. And there's no more crime, and we all hugged and shit. And
yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Wesley Snipes kept taking shots at the East Coast guys during the movie.
But while he's in the freezer, he's getting programmed with other things that are not so benevolent, and he's woken up. He gets his parole. We have the police force and the commissioner or whoever the hell he is. We have Bob Gunt in there, who's also the asshole warden from Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty much the same asshole here, except he's bald and wearing more futuristic clothing. And Snipes gets parole and he gets out. He escapes. He's not so peaceful, and he pops some guy's eyeball out and uses it for the retina scan keyhole thingy.
Yep. And immediately gets out of his thing and just murders 3 people like a boss.
Oh, he doesn't just murder them. He MDKs them. Yeah. He murder, death, kills them.
They use the 187 officer down thing.
Yeah. All right, so the cops can't fight. I mean, they carry these little baton glow stick things that they knock you out. I think if you touch someone with it, it knocks you out. It's sort of like the 6 sticks in Minority Report, but they just make you puke. But it's also easy to apprehend someone when they're doubled over hurling, right?
Yeah.
They're assuming the position already, so...
Pretty much the future has no firearms of any kind. It's very docile. The worst thing you do to somebody is pretty much just use these little stun batons and just knock them out.
Yeah, you could use them to fight, which I guess, they figure out that can help later on, too. So you can actually smack somebody with it. I think there's a Louisville Slugger up on the wall in Sandra Bullock's office. She loves the 80s relics, and she keeps all this contraband shit, like a Lethal Weapon poster.
Lethal Weapon 3.
Lethal Weapon 3, exactly. Okay, I forgot which one. But it's cool. We recognize all this shit. And she watched a lot of Jackie Chan movies, so later on she's actually able to incorporate some kicking into her docile police skill. So after Snipes starts fucking everything up and, taking over things, he's got good computer skills, he's hacking into the network, and he knows that all the weapons that are left are actually in a museum. And he goes there and he wants to bust out some weapons. And they decide after a while, all right, too many cops got beaten up. We don't know. We need an old-fashioned cop for an old-fashioned criminal. They thaw out Stallone. They might have accidentally thawed out Austin Powers. I don't know who else is stuck in there. But
that's what I was thinking. I feel like Austin Powers actually stole this whole idea and put it in their movie, but not the point.
I'm not sure. Check what year that came out, but it's okay. I mean, Stallone and John Spartan is way, way more memorable than Austin Powers.
Without a doubt.
More catchphrase, too. I can't think of any right now.
So yeah, after Wesley Snipes disappears, Sandra Bullock starts asking the older cop. He's like, so how did they catch Simon Phoenix the first time around? And the guy's like, we had a citywide manhunt, an all-cars patrol. We had to put it on some TV show. And in the end, none of that crap worked. And in the end, it's one cop.
One man.
Yeah, played by Stallone, of course.
Yep,
And
John Spartan.
Yeah, but it didn't go too well for him because after he caught him, he ended up in the prison anyways.
But that's how they got him out of the prison, though, because they're like, oh, shit. I mean, we can't do it. Like, clearly, the new age cops are really bad at their jobs.
Yeah, they could just meditate reading the Miranda, and it doesn't even help. And so Stallone gets thawed out, and they use him, and like they're being very rude to him already because Bob Gunton is just like, listen, Neanderthal, listen, caveman, you're only out because we need you. Otherwise, we'll throw you right back in. And he doesn't appreciate the shit. He starts cursing in the office, and he gets the violation tickets, and they come in handy as toilet paper because there is no toilet paper in the future. I don't know. There's always been a shortage.
Shells.
Always been a shortage of toilet paper, so it's like the 3 seashells, which I haven't mastered that skill yet, but I see a lot of bathrooms with like scallop shells, and sometimes they're a little bit filthy, and I don't know if somebody who just saw Demolition Man and wanted to reenact their favorite movie or the way they would imagine it to be, and seashells crack and like they're jagged. Sometimes you got to find like a nice smooth one.
Oh, we've all tried. Let me tell you, I've lost a lot of things up there.
All right, well, anyways,
let me tell you that Bob Gunton, or however you say the police chief's name.
I just know the actor's name. I forgot his
Wow, God,
name.
do I like? He literally plays a guy, and like he played a perfect role in this movie because it's literally the character he plays in every movie. It's the attitude of somebody who's never gotten their ass kicked ever. Because the way he was just talking shit to Stallone, it's like, yo, that guy's like 4 times your size, and he's like really pissed off for being woken up, let alone being frozen.
Right, and you've never seen like any of the 5 Rockies? Like, don't you know history? You could just like fucking cold cock you with an uppercut right now.
Oh no, remember, they actually watched one of the news scenes of John Spartan, like, arresting guys and beating the Christ out of them.
And dragging them through the street, yeah.
Exactly. And all of a sudden the police chief's like, oh, I'm going to just start talking shit to this guy. And it's like, all right, well, clearly you've never gotten into a fight, let alone get your ass kicked.
Well, yeah, while they're making an arrest, they use Siri or something to help them out. Okay, approach the perp and speak firmly the following. You need to stand up, put your hands up, and drop
it was hysterical, the amount of tech in this movie that I'm like, oh, self-driving cars, iPads, what is it, FaceTime, look at that. Demolition knew what was going to happen.
Premonition Man should have been the name of this movie.
Hmm?
Yeah. All right, so Stallone is out, and he finds out that Snipes is in the museum there, and he's in the aptly named Hall of Violence, and that's where all the weapons and stuff are. He gets the old mellow greetings, citizen. What's your boggle? And he tells this guy what his boggle is and throws him through a window and gets his weapons out.
Oh, wait a minute. Before that, though, one of my favorite scenes is literally when Wesley Snipes first walks into the museum and some guy's just looking at some random exhibit, and in the most casual, nonchalant way, Wesley Snipes just walks up next to him and just grabs him by the back of the head and just slams his face into the glass and just knocks him out. And then pretends that he's like, oh, I didn't do anything. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was brilliant. But I thought maybe you...
No. I'll let you talk about the other scene. But literally, that was one of my favorite scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie ever.
It's just absolutely spontaneous and senseless violence. And that's always like the funniest kind in a movie. Oh, I thought you were going to touch on the very sensitive, not PC, ching chong, remark that he makes.
I don't care about that. I thought that was hysterical.
It's pretty stupid, but I don't think that could pass muster today. That'd be cut out. That'd be like in the unrated version, man. But yeah, that was also okay. That's just maybe he was just riffing on that. Maybe that was in the script. I don't know. But
maybe Wesley Snipes just doesn't like Chinese people. Who knows?
I think he has like an Asian, or he was married to an Asian woman. So can't be that bad. Maybe she approved it. She says it's okay.
I'd love it. It was her idea.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. And then Rosie O'Donnell tries and gets hung up to dry, but it's okay. We'd rather have Wesley Snipes around. And, whatever his tax returns look like, I like the guy. So he gets guns, and he gets fancy guns. Oh, of course, there's like those little meta moments where Snipes takes something from this soldier. He goes, "Excuse me, Rambo, I need to borrow this."
Yes, that was a great line.
They do that. And of course, later on in the movie, there's the old Schwarzenegger stab, like president became president. They always have to like rib each other in the movies, which is very fun. But yeah, okay, forget it. Yeah, but Schwarzenegger did become president, at least in The Simpsons. But in the real world, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
So there's some really good shootout stuff and not so many good one-liners and exchange of really bad dialogue between the two of them. And
oh, there was a bunch of great lines. Are you kidding me?
Like, which ones do you like?
Let's see. I'm gonna kill you, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't say Simon Says."
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, man. That one just slipped through the cracks for me.
Yeah, it's right before he takes the baton and shoves it in the water.
There's a few good ones, but I don't know.
There's a lot of great lines.
They'll come to me. I don't know. I didn't write them down because when I was making notes of all the cool shit I love about this movie, I don't think I wrote down any lines except that whole, regret this for the rest of your life. Yeah, I just needed to pick out like what's the best line Stallone gives you in this movie. And that's about it, really. There's a person who kind of came up with the whole cryo prison thing, Dr. Cocteau, and Snipes is just
Dr. Cockbag. That guy's a cockbag.
Yeah, Dr. Cockknocker. And he meets Simon Phoenix, and Simon Phoenix cannot shoot him. He's trying to pull the trigger, and it just doesn't work because he's been programmed. This is part of his programming, and this Cocteau guy runs the whole cryo prison thing, and he has a mission for Simon Phoenix to get rid of some troublesome underground revolution led by Denis Leary.
Yes, the great Denis Leary.
He is great. I've read a couple of his books.
Dr. Denis Leary.
Doctor, yeah, that's right, man. I read his Why We Suck and other interesting publications.
I remember when he first became a doctor because he gave a speech at some college. It was probably one of the shortest college speeches ever. And I had to respect him because right after that, the school's like, oh, you have a doctorate now. You have a PhD. And then he's like, okay.
Well, what did he say? Could you recite the speech from us?
I apologize. I should have probably prefaced that. I believe Denis Leary's speech was pretty much, look at you guys. You worked hard for many years. You finally got your degree. And why am I up here talking? You should all be drinking right now and celebrating. Good luck to you. And that was
there you go. That's a mic drop and out of there, yeah.
That was it. And the school that he did the speech at, they're like, here, now you have a PhD.
I guess that's all it takes, man. You got that loophole. You do it. Just show up and go, okay, doctor.
Exactly. Dr. Denis Leary.
That's all right. He's pretty intelligent. I like this book. He makes a lot of sense. And I'll tell you, speaking of the whole Sting tie-in, he had no love for Sting when he used to do his rants back then. He would give us shit like, hey, Sting, don't worry about saving the rainforest. How about saving your hair? And in this movie, what? Oh, Sting, what? You're doing it? You're contributing to the soundtrack? Hey, look, man, the last song you recorded with the police was so bad you should have arrested yourselves. Give me a cigarette. I like the guy. He's an actor, and he's really done a lot of good shit for the firefighters. So I gotta tip my firefighter hat to him.
Definitely.
And my Dalmatian will lift its leg to him, and I think it's cool what he does, and he's funny. I like the he and Gene Simmons are two of the only people I know in the world who's ever recorded a song called "Asshole," and I don't know if they're autobiographical. Yeah, they're both very good songs. I don't know which one I like better or which one is more true to life. All right, so Denis Leary is kind of funny. He goes off on a little rant even for one of the scenes. And after John Spartan saves the day, or apparently saves Dr. Cocteau, he's like, oh, I want to invite you to dinner tonight with us at Taco Bell. Yeah, the finest Michelin star restaurant around.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's the franchise war.
Yes, but you pointed out something interesting about the international cuts of Demolition Man.
So I actually just rewatched that again just to make sure, and yes. So in the holy Christ!
Yeah.
In the international version that I have, it's not Taco Bell, it's Pizza Hut.
Every international version almost, right?
Yeah, because at the time of when they did the Blu-ray, Taco Bell never really left the States. I don't know if it did yet, but I mean, at the time they did the Blu-ray or whatever, when they brought it over, no one around the world knew what the hell a Taco Bell was. They knew what a Pizza Hut was, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody loves their pizza, but I mean, if other countries haven't heard of Taco Bell, I'm sure Mexico is definitely among them. Let
me tell you, some of the worst dubbing in the world, though. You can definitely tell, you can see the quality in the dubbing when they're just like, I would like to take you to Pizza Hut.
Maybe they could digitally change the food, too. But when they go to Pizza Hut and they're eating,
they all look exactly the same.
They don't look like anything I've ever ordered at Taco Bell. It's just like maybe it is like a Michelin star tasting and you get like a cubic centimeter of food on the plate, really well presented. And like that's supposed to fill me up. That ain't no Taco Bell. That's not my gordita.
Cheesy gordita crunch. That's the way to go.
Oh gosh, I miss those things. All right, but in the future, I have that to look forward to, man. If there's nothing else but Taco Bell to eat, and it looks like that, and it's all swanky, and you got to check your coat and get a tuxedo and a dinner jacket and all that.
They had a live piano player singing the Jolly Green Giant theme song.
Oh, yeah. My Taco Bell doesn't have that. I'm glad there's some fast food in here because that's the only thing Stallone can relate to. I mean, the food must be good enough because that's actually what this whole revolution from underground, all these people are just trying to scavenge some food, to eat and just live their life down in the sewers, and another society exists down there.
What do they call them?
The scraps, I think.
Yeah, the scraps. Thank you. I was like,
really creative name. And I think among the scraps, if you look real quick, you might catch a glimpse. Jack Black is in there.
Is he really?
He's in there somewhere, yeah, but you only see him for
I gotta rewatch that now.
Like a split second. Yeah, he was in a lot of unusual films before he became the Jack Black we know and love today, including Waterworld. And he was actually
Never-Ending Story Part 2.
Was he? Okay, I didn't know. Yeah. I'll have to look for him in that.
Well, Part 3, I think. I don't remember. It was one of the Never-Ending Stories.
They made a 3? It really is never fucking ending. I only know of 2. All right, but after this whole Taco Bell dinner thing, there's like another skirmish with the scraps, and now Sandra Bullock is very thankful and loves seeing Stallone in action, and she offers him headset sex. which is another crazy scene, which I think was inspired by Brainstorm. Because, when I'm horny, all I want to think of is an old Christopher Walken movie myself. But they just put on a headset and they have, VR, strobe lights, seizure-inducing mental imaginary sex. With, there's absolutely, I think there's one tiny flicker where you see some boobs, and I'm sure they're not Bullocks.
No, definitely not. Definitely got to be a body double. But at the same time, it's masturbation with a helmet on. It's stupid.
Well, it is very much, ahead of its time, and we can do it way better than that now. I mean, I've seen Google Glass shit that would knock me out, man. It is real. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I don't have like the haptic suit and all that shit with the gloves and whatever, but yeah, you could literally be in another environment with somebody, and if you weren't told, you wouldn't know the difference. Like, hey, yeah, I'm really here. But why does my head feel so damn heavy? I don't know. Must be the drugs.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the lamest sex scene in pretty much any Stallone movie ever, but okay, because being touched and bodily fluid exchange, that doesn't happen in the future, so okay.
It's what brings the downfall of society.
It definitely is, man. You can't be too suppressed. Although there is a naked girl that calls Stallone's room by mistake on the the WeChat or the whatever, the FaceTime.
The FaceTime, yeah.
Sorry, wrong number. Let me call you back, Mr. 69. You. And that's like the only action we really get in this movie with Stallone there. It's like a wrong number.
I have a problem with that too. The whole thing is I've never had a phone answer for me. So how did that phone just automatically answer for him? But whatever, we're going with it. It was just thrown in there.
Well, we would have never seen that quick glimpse.
Exactly.
If that didn't happen. Maybe it's deleted. I mean, on television, if you see the network television premiere of Demolition Man, whenever it was shown that one time, I'm sure that scene was missing. And maybe they had an extended headset sex scene to make up for it.
Yeah, right.
He still has a DVD player, it looks like, though. That's where he gets all of his information. And he's knitting, because that was a skill he learned while he was under. How to knit. Snipes knows how to kill everybody in all different kinds of cool ways. So he goes to confront Cocteau and ask what the hell's going on. And Snipes goes there and he wants to take over. And there's Assistant Bob or Associate Bob who faints at the sound of a gunshot, because nobody can handle violence in this movie.
It's the fat guy from Beetlejuice.
Oh, yes, that guy, right. But then they do go underground, and Stallone smells something good, and it ends up being a rat burger. And he gets a rat burger and a beer, and he hangs out and talks to Denis Leary a little bit.
Which I have problems with that, too.
Well, tell me about that scene that you did. What didn't you like? They get along too easily, or what happened?
No. My whole thing, I'm just like, okay, so you have a society that's underground and blah, blah, blah. Clearly, there must be a couple thousand people, and you have weapons, because, the guns that Wesley Snipes actually wound up getting were, those were from the Museum of Violence, or for the Hall of Violence, or whatever.
Yes.
Denis Leary pointed out that all the guns that the Scraps had prior, they use those to buy groceries. What the fuck took so long for a revolution? Like, really? It really did not seem like this society would be too difficult to take over. And humans are generally naturally violent.
They could have got all the food and just taken over the entire Taco Bell franchise within a day.
Yeah, I did not understand how. I don't know. I mean,
they were probably just a bunch of really hungry pacifists, and they just couldn't push it that far.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, where'd they get the bread?
Oh, I don't know.
Where'd they get the bread for the bun, huh? Yeah, the scene from the grill when they were grilling, she had a nice fresh bun, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, where'd they get the flour? Yeah, where'd they get the flour to make that? Huh.
They must have a bakery down there. I don't know. Maybe in the Hall of Yeast or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. These weird little things I notice. I'm like, how'd they do that?
Come on. Yeah, don't look for these continuity errors and logic.
I can't help it. Are you kidding me? They scream at me.
It's a Stallone movie. Right? That's all I gotta say. People get beat up and shot and knocked out and blown up, and that's all you need. And a little bit of intelligence doesn't go far. When it's a futuristic movie and you dumb down everything, that's the formula that I think I love the most. Because I can't take it too seriously, but if ever there is a good science fiction movie where everything makes total sense, or it's so fucking smart you don't even try to prove it right or wrong, then you got something. Like Tenet or Minority Report. Those are movies I still have to watch again and yeah, I guess, I think, but I'm not going to say anything bad about it because I'll make a fool of myself. If I have to watch it backwards, maybe if I watch Tenet forwards in one TV and backwards in the other TV with each eye, I will probably understand it, at that point. If you've seen Tenet, exactly what I'm getting at here.
Honestly, haven't seen it yet. It's on my to-do list.
Christopher Nolan is probably the most intelligent or the most half-assed filmaster of our generation.
Inception sucked. Let's move on. I hated Inception. Okay. It's fucking stupid.
All right, let's not talk about that now. All right, save your hate. Save your hate. Last Jedi. Last Jedi's coming. Don't worry. We'll let you hammer that to a pulp.
Teasing your fans that, yes. He's going to give Last Jedi to me. And if you thought I hated Prometheus, fucking boy. I'm going to shit all over The Last Jedi.
It's going to be great. Yeah, I mean, I got to build up the anticipation, man. It's like even more than it was for the actual movie is this episode that we're going to do. Right. I'm just going to let you off the reins, man. That's it.
And I will appreciate that.
Unleashed. Back to Demolition Man. What are we up to? Rat burgers, car chases, the 2nd Street tunnel, I think, which is like the most filmed tunnel in all of LA. It's always like shiny on the inside. It's in the Terminator. It's in Blade Runners and everything. Everything that was ever shot in a tunnel was shot in that tunnel, except maybe Daylight, the other Stallone movie. I think that was in a much bigger, uglier tunnel. Because you don't want to wreck the 2nd Street tunnel. It's like it's a landmark. It's beautiful.
The chase scene, though, let's not forget about the chase scene with the cars. That was an Oldsmobile 442 with a 455 big block.
You've been talking to Sandra Bullock. She knows what that was.
Exactly. Yeah, she knew it by heart. And I'm like, wow.
She did her homework. Yeah, it was a cool car. I don't know how long it lasted. But that wasn't the one with the foam, right? That wasn't the one with the safety foam.
No, that was the police car.
That was the future car. This thing didn't even have a fucking airbag, probably, right? They didn't even invent airbags, I don't think. They were like literally like a hefty or something, a hefty bag.
My other question is too for that scene: where did they find the gasoline for the Oldsmobile?
They got it from the same place they got their fresh bread, I guess.
Because remember when Wesley Snipes blew up the cop car, the guy openly said he's like, "Oh, he's going into the car's battery pack. That's just pure capacitance gel, which is not gasoline."
Nah, it's probably a hybrid, Oldsmobile. Yeah, it could have been one of those. Yeah. There's another goofy Snipes line. That's not really a good line because it's not his line. Say hello to my little friend. Yeah. He takes his gun out. But yeah, all right. We remember Scarface because even though you've been frozen for 33 years, you still remember what movies are good, what to quote. And no one else in the whole world is going to get the shit, but it's okay. We got it.
Without a doubt.
So when Stallone crashes the car that he's driving, the foam blows up. The entire car inside turns into styrofoam, and he comes up with a nice little line, car turned into a cannoli. I thought that was pretty humorous, pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, he had to bring out the Italianness real hard for that line.
He did. I chuckled at that one. That was good, That was a pretty big cannoli. The cops are just like, we give up. We cannot enforce any sort of law around here. So I think they just let Denis Leary and the gang, roam free and have some food. And, Snipes' costume, by the way, besides the fact that he's wearing like this really weird MC Hammer clown shit in the beginning of the movie, or the Super Mario Brothers meets MC Hammer meets Beetlejuice kind of a costume.
You mean the tactical beret?
No, not that. He was wearing like suspenders and stripy pants and yellow shit.
Yeah.
The beginning. No, but later on, he's got like tire treads on his shoulder and chest. Like those are his costumes made out of like tire treads, which actually look pretty cool, but not as good as like his Blade attire. But this was really a tire that he's wearing, and it looked kind of cool. And probably got good traction too when he hits the ground and has to get back up again. Yeah. Oh, so Jesse Ventura is in here too, man. Another governor, and he gets unfrozen. He doesn't have many scenes though, and in fact there was a lot of deleted scenes in Demolition Man, including apparently a Stallone and Ventura smackdown. So like, why the hell would you delete that? I'm very pissed. I know there's probably a really good extended cut of this someplace, but I have not found it. I don't know.
The movie is 2 hours long normally.
Yeah, the movie is too long. But I mean, I could go for a little extra action if it has like these cool people. It's just like they never got together in Expendables and duked it out. It was like he's not in any of those other Expendables movies. I thought they just brought everyone.
Because I'm pretty sure right after 2001, Jesse Ventura kind of went into crazy conspiracy land.
Yeah. Oh, well. I think they had enough other action dudes in there to make up for him. But he doesn't do a whole hell of a lot, but he's in there. There's a lot of fighting, and like a lot of these extra, really bad ex-con guys get unfrozen and start making it a more dangerous gang for Snipes to go around town with. But eventually we get to the big showdown towards the end, right?
Yep.
Even though Sandra Bullock could sort of fight and they almost had sex, Stallone has to knock her out so he could just go at it alone for the final scene and fight Simon Phoenix.
Let's just say she would get in the way.
She probably would, yeah. Or she'd just become a hostage.
Exactly.
She would misquote some cool line that would just derail the whole movie.
Want to go and blow this guy?
I'll be black. No. It's always been on black. Oh, shit. I knew it was something like that. So they have a fight. During the fight scene, I guess I should mention that there's this really corny sort of like carnival music because he gets picked up by the crane. But the music, I have to mention the composer, Elliot Goldenthal, who did some of my favorite movie scores, including Alien 3. All right, it's not the greatest movie, but the music in that movie is top notch. He also did Pet Sematary and Heat. So a lot of his soundtracks have a lot of blaring horns that sound like a herd of angry elephants. And of course he has like that carnival stupid music at the end of this when they're fighting. But it's all right. It's a little bit goofy. And the fights are good though, because Snipes with his capoeira and all that shit, he's really amazing to watch, fighting and doing whatever he does. I think it's mostly him on screen.
I believe, yeah, it definitely was too.
They had to slow down some shots because he moves so damn quick. Like I think they overcrank the camera or do something to make it look like, okay, we see what's going on. We could follow these moves.
Mm-hmm. Well, it didn't help too that, like, I feel like he definitely actually trained for like this role. It really did look like he actually knew how to fight. Like, he knew how to do the stances right. Like, he knew how to lock his arms. And when he was like throwing around the stunt guys, I was like, oh, this is actually really dope. Yeah.
Yeah, I have zero doubt that he could fight in all kinds of cool ways. And I mean, he doesn't always do action movies, but yeah, when he needs to, he brings it. In this fight, which of course, Snipes will not win, he gets frozen by the cryo capsule thingy, and Stallone manages to climb up on the crane and kick Snipes' head off. So there he goes. He lost his head if it wasn't attached, and that's where it all, you see what happens there. Yeah, that smart dialogue foreshadowing shit. It's brilliant, man. This is one of those movies like Citizen Kane that you just be pondering for generations.
There was no Kane in Citizen Kane.
I know pretty much nothing about that movie already, except it's fucking long and somebody says Rosebud at the end.
Oh, no, that was
Spoiler alert, sorry. Rosebud, fuck you. I saved you 2 hours of your life, if not more. There's just way too many classic films that I don't watch and way too many horrible ones that I own on Blu-ray. So go figure. This is one of them. And I mean,
No. This is one of the most amazing movies that you could ever own on Blu-ray. And yes, you should watch this with your children, and you should make them be men. Even the little girls, make them men. Let them watch this movie.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, right? Yeah. Oh, there is one more slow-mo explosion for Stallone to run away from at the end. You never really think he's not going to outrun it. He always makes it.
Remember, he doesn't have to look back, though. That's what makes it look cool.
Oh, no, right. Yeah, if he ever looked back, it's like, is it gaining on me? It's like, when you see Wile E. Coyote falling off the cliff, and all the way down. It's pretty much the same shit as Stallone running from an explosion. It's just like it's got to be in every fucking movie. Otherwise, you feel something's missing. But yes, he does that. Even in, like, whatever that movie where he sings with Dolly Parton, I think something blows up and he runs away from it. I don't know.
I honestly have no idea.
All right. It could have been her bra, too. I don't know. But something explodes and he has to run from it in slow motion. Or maybe it's just a recording of his singing. One of those things. So the movie's just about over here. Stallone finally swaps spit with Sandra Bullock. Yay. She goes on to do Speed later on and just drives as quickly and as far away from him as she can. And does that movie with Keanu there. And her career is secured. Demolition Man is not really a shame, and it's not a blot on her resume. I think it's a pretty cool movie for her to make her sort of big screen
action debut.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of the best things I remember seeing her in. That I liked a lot. I mean, it's better than Bionic Showdown, which is something she was in 1989, which I don't even know if I ever saw.
No idea what the hell that is.
I forgot about it, but I know I watched it before I knew who the hell Sandra Bullock was. The Heat was really good. Gravity was good, and Time to Kill. But
yes, A Time to Kill. Yes, they deserve to die and hope they burn in hell.
Of course, man. That's one of those
best lines ever.
Quotable movies of all time. So anyhow, at the end of this movie, I had a big burning question. Stallone still doesn't know how the 3 seashells work, but it makes me think, since the very first scene in the police office, he hasn't wiped his ass. And he's been eating Taco Bell and rat burgers. You got to tell me that there's not some deleted scene somewhere of him in the crapper just going at with those seashells or something.
You just see the pants around his ankle and him like just trying to figure it out, and you just know exactly what the hell's going on in there.
Well, that was my parting thought of the end of that movie. But there's other shit. There's other shit to say about it. Other trivia stuff. You like the trivia stuff, right? I think I have a little bit.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm always down for trivia stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, this movie definitely aims at a more highbrow sci-fi audience than you might originally think, because Sandra Bullock's character is named Lenina Huxley. And that comes from the 1932 novel by Aldous Huxley, Brave New World, and a character, Lenina Crowns. And he just mashed together Lenina and Aldous Huxley's last name, and boom, there you got your character's name. See how smart that is?
That's actually pretty awesome, yeah. I would have never picked that up.
I just thought you came up with some goofy-ass name like Marion Cobretti, but no, it's intelligent. It means something. Yeah. Deke De Silva. Nope, no, this really came from literature and science fiction. I don't think anybody knows that. I figured it out. I'm sorry.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's great. It takes away from the movie, though, to have too much like, L. Ron Hubbard and,
Not in the slightest, no.
Ray Bradbury contributed to the script.
That's actually really awesome that you actually pointed that out. Now I get to quote that at parties now and seem smart.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. You're welcome, man. All that. So aside from the fact that there was like tons of deleted scenes, the voice of the central computer is also uncredited, but it was Adrienne Barbeau, who you might know from all the cool John Carpenter movies she did and Creep Show. And for the very simple fact that when Stallone has to log on to a computer, the best way to do it is and she'll answer him. That was nice. I didn't recognize it was her until I read all this trivia shit.
Oh, Adrienne Barbeau. Okay, now I know who she is.
Yes, you have to picture her, and then you'll know exactly who she is. Yeah.
Exactly. I had to Google it.
You Googled her. And what else can I say about Wesley Snipes' bleach blonde hairdo, except that he hated it. And as soon as
God you said it.
He buzzed the shit off, and Dennis Rodman made it his own. And did his own action movie, too. Whatever that... what was that shit movie? Rodman and Mickey Rourke and...
don't forget the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's the
Double
one.
Impact. Impact.
Double Impact is a whole different animal. But no, the one with Rodman and Van Damme and Mickey Rourke was the villain in that.
Double Team.
Double Team, yes. Double Impact is a masterpiece by comparison.
Yes, Double Team. Got it.
Yeah, it had double something in it. Well, I don't know if I'm going to watch that one again, but if I do, I think that's an episode.
Oh, that might be something, yeah. Stavros is a lefty.
You already know lines from it, all right?
Oh, yeah. See, that was also on the list of, action movies I saw as a kid.
Okay, I saw it too, but I think I was like, okay, I'm glad that's over with. Like, I can't wait to own this and add it to my collection. It wasn't one of those.
So many action movies that I would even consider garbage now. I watched as a kid and I loved it.
Yeah, and you'll still watch it now just because you can't unlike it now, no matter how much.
Yeah.
It's like even this movie, I don't know, at some point in my life I must have thought, what a dipshit movie this is. But at the same time, I keep on watching it.
Yep.
And I'm a grown man. So I don't know. There must be something else going on beneath the surface besides the whole Huxley shit that really just keeps you coming back for this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I still love it.
And so do I. All right, it's a good thing we covered it now. And finally, we could agree on something, man. It's great.
Love this awesome movie. They should make more like it. Not remakes. They should just make more fun, brain-numbing action movies where it's just men being men. Or hell, put a woman there. Just don't make her suck. That's all.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sandra Bullock was pretty good in this movie. She was pretty funny, good character. She looks good. She seems to be able to handle her few fight scenes well and not hurt herself. Yeah, great movie, and yeah, I'll watch it again someday. And now we have a podcast to commemorate it, and all you poor folks who never got to watch it, now you know what to do. You got your homework. And I'm going to have to just walk around, like, going up to people and go, like, what's your boggle? What's your Yahtzee? Just
if no one throws you through a plate glass window, I'll be very upset.
Should. That's exactly what should happen. Or if I say one off-color word. I don't know, man. Every Stallone movie that's ever, and every Snipes movie is probably violations of that verbal morality statute.
Yeah.
But all right.
Garbage.
Will enhance your calm. All right. See, always quotable lines. Shouldn't that be on a bumper sticker or a T-shirt?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we need a revival of this movie. And
I mean, if you walk around with an enhance your calm, and if actually someone gets that on it, like if they understand it, that's a good guy right there.
All right. Well, I'll start telling people to do that and see who responds, and I'll take a survey, and we'll come back with the results, and find out that Demolition Man is really everyone's favorite movie. They just won't admit it.
Damn right.
Well, dude, this was fun. Thanks for coming back and doing this. And
yeah, thank you for having me.
Can't wait for Last Jedi. It'll be a lot more fun and a lot more furious.
Oh my God, I'm going to tear into that episode. I can't wait.
Look out, Ryan Johnson. We're coming for you before you make anything else.
Before you try to ruin Star Wars again.
It's all right. I think it's back on track. It's okay. I think Star Wars is reborn and revived, and it'll go on the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
God bless those guys.
Yep.
All right, dude. It's awesome. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back on the podcast. I'll see you again at work. I'm off to use the 3 seashells, dude, so thanks. I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. Have a good one. Thanks for having me.
So, cheers. Oh, and be well, the rest of you listeners.
Yep.
Wow, that podcast was fucking awesome.
Mike Dorigo, you are fined 3 credits for a violation of the verbal morality.
Ram it in your motherboard. Yo, what do you mean there's no violence in the future? Oh, wait.